Hi, this is Harris Reynolds. Thanks for watching this video series on how to use Git. In this video, we're going to show you how to create a branch and then also how to create a pull request, which is a key part of how you develop software on a team. So here's my test repo. There's not a lot of action here. I'm still on the main branch here. If I come over to my terminal, I'm going to click print working directory. That just shows the directory that I'm in. I'm in this test repo, Git repository. Remember, this is my local repository. I'm going to say Git status, and it's up to date with development. If I say Git branch, I'm on the development branch, so I'm going to say Git branch, and then I'm going to create a new branch that says update homepage. A lot of times you want to create a branch name that will have some meaningful name to it. I'm going to say Git branch. If I say Git status now, Git branch with no arguments. Now we'll see this new branch, and now to get to that branch, I will say Git checkout. And there's some shortcuts to where you don't have to type all these commands, but I like for new Git users to get really comfortable with saying Git status, Git branch, and Git checkout, and just spelling it all out there. So now we're on this update homepage. I'm going to go back to Git here and just put an H3 tag. And just say hello world. That's great. Now if it's in WebStorm, the file name has this blue tint to it instead of white, and that just means there's changes in Git for this particular file. So sometimes it's nice to have an IDE that is aware of Git, and WebStorm is a great IDE for that. So now if I just come over here and I say Git status, now try to think about how do we get this file, the changes from this file from our local Git repository up to the server. It actually tells you no changes added to commit, so use git add or git commit -a. That's one of the shorthands. We're going to go ahead and use the longhand and just say git add, and you can either say dot or you can just pass in a file name. I'm just going to add the file name. If I say git status, now it's ready to be committed, but it has not been committed. Git commit -m. Update home page. And so if I say git push, again, now the local Git repository knows about it, but the origin or remote Git repository does not. So I'm just going to copy this to the clipboard, paste it, run it. That will push this branch up to the server. And if I go back over to GitHub, I'm going to just refresh this, and now look, it sees these two new branches and it says, hey, do you want to create a pull request? So I'm going to click on this update homepage, compare and pull request, and I'm going to pick the development branch for the branch that we want to merge this new branch into the development branch. Change index.html to have new content. A lot of times you want to have good documentation. You want to write good notes and comments on your PR. So I'm going to say create pull request. And this is one reason that I and a lot of people end up liking GitHub is the UI for pull requests. So when you create a pull request, what you're saying is, I want to include this code into the product, into the main development branch, which will eventually get merged up into the main branch. So I'm going to click on files changed, and you get a side-by-side comparison of all the files that have changed. Obviously this one is very simple, but this is how you create a PR. And then a lot of times, even if you're a single developer, it's good to create these PRs and to review this code, because just looking at your code side by side will help you sometimes catch mistakes. So I'm going to click review changes, and I'm just going to say approve. Okay, right now it's saying we can't, a pull request can't be approved by the actual author. So I'm gonna skip approving this and merging this here. I'm gonna have to change a setting on GitHub, I'm sure, to be able to fix this. But this is how you create a new branch and then create a PR. And a lot of times someone else on your team will be the one who reviews that. But even if you're a solo developer, I think it's great for you to create PRs, to review your own code so that you can start to get that feel for what it's like to work on a real development team. In our next video, we will work through merging PRs and get everything merged up. And hopefully at this point, you'll start to see how branches inside of Git make sense and how you can use branches in Git to write new code and to collaborate on projects. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.